Hello, and welcome back to the Atlus Plateau. It just started raining, right when I started. Which it kind of raises the question. If the capital is under a giant tree, the giant tree isn't actually there, right? Because otherwise the rain would be weird. You would still get hit with rain because the water has to go somewhere. And the weather might not get to the point of snow, but the snow could build up on a branch and then the branch could bend a little and then dump a ton of snow and crush someone. It's probably just physically not there. But yeah, that's me getting sidetracked because it crossed my mind when it started raining. So I'm going to continue what I was doing last time, which will be locating a map. That might be the map I need. And I will get a map before going back to the Volcano Manor, which I left quickly after getting the spinning wheel. I will purely focus on getting the map and minimize the sidetracking for a little bit. Yeah, it'll be a bunch of running around now. I'm just kind of interested. But no, those are plants, not hands of dead folks. Okay, yeah. Wait, that's the one that I actually want. I want that one, but this is the one that I need right now. Because that other one, I think, is in the capital, maybe? Or in the outer walls of the capital. Oop. There's a Grace right there, but there's also Atlas Bloom. Good time. There's an archer. I think that path might have a gargoyle? I should go fight that. Oh, Bach, what are you doing here?
Bach the seamster, at your service, master. Ready to make adjustments to your garments.
He's just moving to the most recent zone, maybe? Like, oh, this is the closest zone, so he moves here? Like, instead of sticking in Liurnia? Maybe he said something about wanting to move towards Lanedell, and I just ignored him because he's Bach. Okay, so that should be the map. Right here. Okay. I think I'll try to get that map before I go back to the Volcano Manor. Because it's kind of... It's not a topic that can be discussed without actually having knowledge on it. But like, sorry, just preamble. Self-diagnosing yourself with it for anything is not appropriate. Having an actual diagnosis for anything is what you should always do. It's just kind of interesting to think of like because for me, within the basic, oh, you have OCD because you like lining up your pencils or something, which is not OCD. OCD is actually like a potentially debilitating issue. But within the like casual use of the term, I would say I fall sort of into that in very specific ways. And having a completed map is definitely part of that. But for me, it's mostly like, oh, I'm bored, so I'm gonna balance these plastic Easter eggs that have little bits of chocolate in them on their ends because I'm bored. And I need something to occupy myself, and it's very satisfying when they actually float. And by float, I mean balance. And like, I'm gonna fight them later. And like, I'll count the, like, if I'm eating food, I'll be like, okay, 2 chews on the left side of my mouth, 2 chews on the right side of my mouth, 2 chews left, 2 chews right, 4 left, 4 right. Keep it even, which is insanity for sure. But it's not actually an issue because it doesn't impact anything. And if I can't do that, I don't, and it's not an issue. the fact that it's not an issue is a key differentiator, because like obsessive compulsive disorder as a term sort of requires an impact, a negative impact, a detrimental impact. I'm only talking about this because of the map thing, but like if I'm walking on a sidewalk, I want to maintain an even number of steps shared. It's like, oh, this sidewalk square, 2 steps, next one 2 steps. Oh, only 1 step in this one? I have to get 1 step in another one, like an even number of left and right steps within the squares of a sidewalk. My own insanity, but it's also like not detrimental. And I'm aware that within certain contexts, feeding those things and just going with it is potentially detrimental. But that's with real things. I hate these invisible ones. They drive me mad. Okay, what is the biggest AoE? Oh, you know what? Perfect. Should move down here. Perfect. Wonderful. I love that weapon. I'm so glad I went to the back to the Lake of Rot to get it. I'm just here for that. But I was talking about that because it's just sort of a general reality. I'm trying to check those. I need one more. And like, you never really know whether that's something other people do. My understanding is that's not something most people do. They don't count the number of steps as they walk down a sidewalk. Which I only do it if I'm not like if I was talking with people, which I don't do a lot because if I'm walking, I'm going somewhere and I need to be there, but like it's sort of a self-inflicted way to keep myself occupied. There is a certain I don't know, compulsion, but it's not obsessive. But it's kind of, it's the sort of thing where if you never talk about it with anyone, you'd never know. No one would know. If they saw me walking down a street, no one would notice that I'm counting the left steps and the right steps as I walk down this sidewalk. And so I find it kind of fun that, like, you never know. And not even on the you never know how much someone is suffering because of stuff. Just literally on the you never know if the person across the street is trying to chew a piece of gum for the longest in the world. Like, you never know if someone's doing something like that because you can't see it. You never know the weird decisions people make. And it's all kind of, I think it's fun to think about. Like, how, oops, that was just terrible. Okay. I'm dead, maybe? I got lucky? I'm really not a fan of these guys, mostly because they are just so crazy. Okay, that didn't break it, good. Stab. No, no stab, that's bad. I'm dead. Oh, that did less damage than I thought it would. Yeah, I think that heal was fine. Not optimal, but fine. Okay. I was out of stamina because I rolled too much. I just think it's kind of... Oh, that was a running attack. That's not what I meant. I just find... Sorry. I'm too focused on the enemy, so I can't actually keep a train of thought going. Okay, got him. Very much face tank that. But... Leadenhard tier I think is pretty good. I think the Cerulean Hidden tier is the one that gives you infinite FP for a limited time. And it's like the... Oh, you use the laser to one-shot bosses after buffing enough and whatever, but it's also basically impossible to use outside of hyper-specific setups. The, specifically the laser, not the infinite FP, because infinite FP has its many uses. I haven't explored that. I've never, like, I never really do it this way. It's just weird to come from this end without, because my first time through, I explored down there first. I should go there, actually. There's a grace not far, I think. As long as I don't die from this fall, I should find a grace down here. I should have jumped. It went fine, but I should have jumped. Yeah. Just, there's a, yep. I knew that was happening. Just, I find thinking about how everyone's just kind of living their own life is... Okay, weird. Just the reality of everyone just has their own experience. It's always fun. What an enemy. That was weird. Oh, that was more dangerous than they were. Sacred butchering knife. I know there's a ladder to the left, but I'm looking for a grace. And actually sacramental buds are very good to collect. Because that's rot resistant. I will need that in the Halig tree. Or I will benefit from that in the Halig tree. Oh no, not these guys. Bye. I don't like you. I don't think anyone likes that enemy. Not that anyone likes any enemy specifically, but... yeah. It's a fun... Like, doing this all, talking about whatever. A fun way to talk about, you know, meaningless stuff. It's a fun way to talk about information that I've learned, but it's also interesting to be like, hey, ooh, that's a church. I should go there. But I won't. I'm gonna treat this area, this whole area is unexplored. None of this has been explored. I'll just need to, when I come back, I'll need to treat it as if I haven't gone anywhere. Because otherwise I will forget stuff. But now it's Volcano Manor time. For Strength Faith, the weapon from here is really good. Best item in the game. No, not the weapon, but the light. Yeah, oh, I don't remember the name of the greatsword, but it's kind of busted because it can knock just about any enemy on their back. Like, if the Art of War hits, like, Millennia, she lands on her back. Maybe not second phase. I'm not certain about second phase. But definitely first phase. If you hit her with it, she falls over, and that gives you a free attack or two. And it heals you if you hit. It's so good. It's such a strong greatsword. Now, it's pretty slow. So as long as you have to use it in specific scenarios, but it's very effective. And it's very good for generic exploration. Because if you get a kill, you get HP back, and then you can just explore forever if you don't take too much damage. You know, if you don't take too much damage, you can explore forever. Ooh. Good job. I'm dead. Or not. He's very slow. Even slower than I was expecting, honestly. Hence why I got hit by his really delayed attack. Very slow. Ooh, Bloodhound Claws. Do they have Bloodhound Step? Which has been nerfed since it was released. And when it was released, it was way too strong. Yep. That will be useful in a few places just for moving quicker. Not even for the infinite invuln that it used to have. Am I about to fight a Godskin Apostle? Or is that further through? I can't remember. I'm sitting here thinking of stuff. I have a page in my web browser open about something that I thought was funny. There exist concordances, I don't know what the word means in this context, of the Bible. Where like, well, they are indexes of every word. At least some of them are indexes, like apple. Well, maybe. Like, what pages does apple show up in? What pages does pineapple show up in? Like, people spent time documenting every single location that words showed up, which is to me very funny. It's just such a pointless endeavor. Personally, I'm not religious. If it makes your life better without harming other people, believe what you want. Believe that when you die, there's a heaven or whatever. If that makes life better, it makes life better. On a basic level. But I just find like some of the things people do, I mean, people do the same things for everything. Like any fandom. I mean, calling religion a fandom's not really, feels kind of wrong. Just by virtue of they're not really a fan. They're believers. It's a bit more fanatical than a fandom, but any modern fandom will have people who scour every bit of information about a character, a book, anything, and they will do a crazy deep dive. So it's not any different than that, honestly. The difference to me, though, is availability of information makes a real big difference. Like, there's apparently a specifically famous one from 1738 that had several editions, has been re-edited. Like, a lot of work went into it. And also, it's apparently longer, like several times longer than the actual Bible. And, okay, so, sorry. Cruden's Concordance is a concordance, which a concordance is a verbal index. A simple form lists biblical words alphabetically, which is pretty funny. I don't know why people would do it. It's probably some weird personal test of faith, but whatever. Publication. Yeah, when they were making it, they worked from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day while working as a bookseller in London. It's apparently, like, I think several times longer than the Bible itself. Because all of the page references would make it long. But, like, it's just such a funny concept to me. It's not, like, it's fundamentally not that different than people making wikis or whatever for their favorite media. Except for the fact that it was made in the early 1700s and therefore wasn't like it would have been written. It wouldn't have been written on an online web page. It's worth it. No, it's not, because it got stuck on a fence, so it didn't fall all the way down. So my light attack missed. If I'd strong attacked, I actually would have hit it. Yeah. Apparently making the concordance totally focus, like they focused entirely on it to the detriment of their bookstore. Like they didn't keep proper stock of books and stuff, which is to me kind of wild. Even more wild than spending 18 hours a day poring over a book just to track every single word in it. But, you know, whatever floats your boat. It's a pretty harmless application of religion to anyone but themselves. Because, I mean, that's definitely harmful to themselves. I was slow. I'm dead. Am I not dead? I should be dead. Good. Yeah, so they completed the bulk of the work in a year, but then had proofreading and layout took longer. It's just kind of funny. Like, it's such a weird concept, spending that much time just creating an index. Because apparently it hasn't been out of print since then. I don't really know what that means in this sort of context. Like, has there been a fresh print of the book every year? Or has there just been regular printings of a book? Because if it's just like every few years there's another version printed, sure. Or if you can, like, if when you buy it, a fresh book gets printed because one is sold a year at most, it would make sense. I really hate this mob. They're one of my least favorite normal enemies in this game. Like, I think Elden Beast is overall worse as including bosses, because I don't like Elden Beast. It's a really annoying fight. You don't actually drop anything, huh? I don't think Elden Beast is a bad boss, I just think it's really annoying. I want to get that, and I don't want to have to jump down to get it. Okay, I got it? Good. It's only Somber 5, so it's not actually worth anything, but... Rude. Throwing your jars of poison at me. I guess I'll go in here. Yeah. It's just fun to see different lives. Like, there's apparently Ethiopia has long coffee ceremonies, potentially. Like, it's maybe not every day that they do them. Okay, I didn't know they could do the charge and grab. That was my bad. But, like, in Ethiopia is, like, the origin of the coffee plant? But they have long ceremonies that it can apparently take several hours. Which is just, yeah, it's interesting. Now, do I understand the context behind the ceremonies? Not at all. The context is important for anything like ceremonial. Whether it's just a hyper effective way of enjoying coffee that just takes a long time because it's worth the effort. I don't know. You know what? I think the best thing to do is not go that way. Go this way and skip the enemy that I fought there. Backstep. Well, okay, that was weird. It was fine, but it was weird. Okay, I need to jump here. Whoop. Backstab. I just find I don't personally get drinking coffee. It's sort of an interesting thing to me. Like, I half expected to die there. Like, coffee is... Like, as a child, it's like, oh, why can't we drink coffee? Why can't we drink coffee? It's like, oh, you can't drink coffee till you're 16 because it'll stunt your growth. I don't know if that's actually true. I know nothing about coffee stunting growth. But even as I got older, I didn't need coffee. Never needed caffeine to wake up. And in the few very limited scenarios where I have drank coffee, it didn't really feel like it had some super, oh, I'm more alert now effect. Obviously, caffeine has the effect that caffeine has. It's objectively true that caffeine does what caffeine does. It gives energy, makes you more awake and alert, whatever. Like, that is science. What the effect of caffeine is scientific. Though I also wouldn't... It's also the type of thing where, like, the effect of... Biology is complicated, basically. Not everyone's going to be affected by every substance in the same way. Like, I watched an old... I mean, all episodes of Mythbusters are old. Oops. I watched an old episode of Mythbusters where they were testing beer and liquor. And the, like, beer before liquor, never sicker or something being the rhyme. And I get more or less, they just drank beer and then did another test where they drank beer and liquor in an equivalent amount of alcohol. Like, equivalent volume of alcohol. Which resulted in one of them, Tori. The second time was drunk, or hungover. The key thing is the hangover. Tori still had a hangover, but Grant, no hangover. Same amount of alcohol between the two scenarios, but not hungover the second time. Which is just sort of a biology. You can't always 100% predict that type of stuff without a lot of extra knowledge. Because, I mean, some people have auto brewer syndrome. It might be the generic, like, layman's terms for their body turns sugar into alcohol within, like, by itself without outside interference. I'm not sure if it's sugar or like sugars. I'm really not sure. It does seem awful. Because, like, I think any, like, carbohydrate, because carbs are sugars, I believe. Like, it's not sugar, but it is a sugar. Weird. I don't know enough about that. I should really just search it really quick. What's that? What's this, the guy having his arms ripped off? Auto brewery syndrome. On Wikipedia. Fermentation of undigested... So it's carbohydrates that they... Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Ferment. Which is not pleasant. Because being constantly having, you know, alcohol be produced when you eat any carbs would be rough. Now, if you're a firm believer in the Atkins diet, keto, I'm not big on diets. I just know that some of the names weird that missed entirely. Whichever one it is that cuts out carbs entirely, you'd be like, okay, that's fine. But any diet that cuts stuff out seems rough. Like, eating food that you enjoy, it's just nice. Like, being limited to what you can eat, I can't imagine ever enjoying that. And like, yes, if you're... Imagine there's probably scenarios where those sorts of things are beneficial because you're... Without, like, following a diet like that, being constantly drunk would be unpleasant. And then there's... Sorry, I'm just thinking about alcohol. I'm not huge on it. Alcohol's whatever. I think I was raised in an appropriate manner where it's just a drink. Sort of, like... Why is there nothing here? It just feels weird. Like, my parents didn't... Well, I mean, both my siblings, I would say, have a... depends on what you label healthy. Both my siblings are more likely to drink amounts of alcohol with the intention of getting drunk. I've only ever done it, like, twice, specifically because, hey, how much before, like, what happens if I drink X amount? It's like, not really anything interesting. Just kind of, whatever. It's not what I'm talking about. I was going to talk about how there's, if you have, this is not some DIY, but like, if, I think in some cases in hospitals, if someone is like dying of alcohol poisoning, the best treatment is to, I don't know if it's like inject in some manner or drink, I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but having the patient like intake alcohol can help, because there's some element of like, if they're dying from alcohol poisoning, it's because there's methanol instead of ethanol, because like some amount of ethanol is in all I don't know the specifics, but the body processes ethanol before it processes methanol, I think. And so if you're dying from alcohol poisoning, there's like methanol that's been collected in your body that is part of why you're gonna die. And so if you intake ethanol for your body to consume, it gives your body time to adjust, react. I'm not sure. I want to actually alt tab, but I don't want to die. Like, like it's, I think Mayo Clinic is a real group. I'm just trying to look at it. Causes, binge drinking, how much is too much? Risk factors, complications. Oh, I need to look at my screen again. Prevention, obviously. Useless, not what I'm looking for. Or I guess this guy can't hit me. This is way off topic. I find it kind of interesting. Treatment. Okay, no. It might have something to do with people accidentally consuming methanol. Methanol intoxication. It might be that like ethanol is. I'm gonna pause the recording. I found the thing. Methanol toxicity on Wikipedia. Under treatment, methanol poisoning can be treated with fomepizole, which I assume is like an actual like manufactured medication, or if unavailable, ethanol may be used. So ethanol, I'm just reading directly from Wikipedia. Ethanol, the active ingredient in alcoholic beverages, acts as a competitive inhibitor by more effectively binding and saturating the alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme in the liver, thus blocking the binding of methanol. Methanol is excreted by the kidneys without being converted into the very toxic metabolites, formaldehyde and formic acid. And then it's less of an issue. That's kind of cool. That like, because, oh weird, my mouse. Because, I guess it says ethanol binds better with the stuff. The methanol then doesn't bind and can then be removed from the body without turning into formaldehyde, which is, well, it's a chemical. Everything's a chemical. That was actually fun. I was like, is literally everything a chemical? And like, yep. Just kind of by definition, the only thing that isn't like a chemical is energy, heat, you know, all that type of stuff aren't chemicals, but anything is a chemical. It just feels weird to be like, oh, a single molecule of hydrogen is a chemical. Because it just feels weird to call a molecule a chemical. Like, it's a chemical because it's a chemical. Like, it is what it is. But it's an interesting issue that some people sort of have with words, where it's like, chemical free. No, it isn't. Because everything is a chemical. Now, obviously, the implication is chemical free in the sense of free of harmful chemicals, but I don't want to go down yet. I think up gets me to a bonfire, and by bonfire I mean grace. But yeah, I was thinking about that before I was talking about alcohol and binding. Yeah, like it's just really interesting that, oh yep, the best way to deal with, I don't know, having drank methanol, like windshield wiper fluid, for example, apparently has methanol, is to ingest ethanol because it's, I don't know, it's kind of like more aggressive. Ooh. Maybe I should drop here. Doesn't look like there's any reason to because I can just go that way. But I might drop there later. It's just fun to know that it's one of the steps in treating methanol. It's just so, of course, always, you know, consult a doctor if you're suffering from methanol poisoning or methanol toxicity. Always make sure to call poison control. I don't know whether poison control is A, the real term, or B, a thing in Canada. Because I assume poison control is the name for it in the US. Because that's the generic, like, if you hear a term, it's generally because it's America. In Canada, there's a tendency in media that if it's like, oh, poison control, that's probably an American thing. Could be Canadian, could be called poison control, because, like, what else would you call it? But still, don't just, oh, I drank, actually, like, one example. School, in high school, we worked with 90 something percent, it probably wasn't 90 something percent ethanol. There was some sort of context where we were working in a science class with ethanol. The teacher made it clear there is methanol in that, so no one should even try for a second to drink it. Anyone who tried to drink it would be dumb anyway, in my opinion, but like made it clear that it's common to denature ethanol, scientific ethanol, by adding a bit of methanol so that people can't drink it. I'm bad. Yep, I said I was bad. I knew it was coming. But it's just kind of... It's such a weird... Like, obviously, what I was trying to say. If anyone's suffering from that, call poison control. Don't just... Oh, I drank some ethanol that had methanol in it, so I'm suffering from methanol toxicity. I guess I'll drink 4 beers. Don't. It's a bad idea, probably, unless you call poison control and they say, yep, drink some alcohol, it will help a little. God, it's just so fun. Weird, specific... You would never guess. That was absolute garbo. That was terrible. Good dodge, though. I'm not gonna hit him. Yep. Oh, come on. That should have hit. I know why it didn't, but it should have. This shouldn't work, but it does. That was bad. Yes. I didn't know he could actually just go for that right away. I always assumed that was an end of combo attack. I wasn't in range either. Yeah, I always assumed that was like a combo ender or a something he does to punish like bad plays. Not a primary attack. Good. And that was still only one of them, not 2, so that's kind of dangerous. I bet that's faith scaling and dex. Oh, it's a heavy thrusting sword. It's not... I'm not going to use it. I just have never used a heavy thrusting sword. I guess it's basically a spear. It's cool. I mean, if I ever do another playthrough, I probably should go for like a thrusting sword, because I've never used them. Like, explicitly plan to use this weapon or something. Though, I mean, a thrusting sword's not going to be that different from a spear, as I even said, so... Amnion. I don't know if I can do Ria's questline if I do it this way, because I think that's part of that questline. Yeah. God, skin apostle. Dead. But... I need to explore more in the lava area. There's stuff that I have not explored. Can't ride a horse, obviously. Look at them. Serpent birds. Yeah. I really find just... like, I'm never gonna benefit from knowing that ethanol is used to treat methanol. Like, it's never gonna improve my life. Why can't I lock on nicely? But... Ooh. Cool. But it's still like... It's one of those things that's sort of biology. Like... Just... anything about biology, just biology. It's such a complex, well, it's also chemistry, but I mean, everything, if you break it down to it, is physics because everything is atoms and how they interact, blah, blah, blah. Like chemistry and biology. Biology is, I think, the key factor here because of how the human body and maybe other animals, I don't know if other animals react the same, but biology is just wild because it is, I mean, biology stems from evolution. Well, the specifics of biology stem from the evolution of the system. And like, I don't know. Evolution is kind of, if it works, it works. Like, it's not going to be the optimal thing necessarily. It's going to be just whatever works. It's like, you can never really assume how something will behave just because of one reason or another. Like, basically my whole point is biology is complicated, and occasionally just learning a small fact about biology is always kind of fun. I mean, it's, even if it's totally useless for my life, it's still, I'm a human. It still applies to me. Or am I? Maybe I'm a robot. Maybe I'm actually a Terminator? Because Terminators wouldn't have those sorts of weaknesses implanted into them. I need to stop because it's been 45 minutes, but I kind of just want to fight. I think there's a lizard fight, and I kind of just want to get it done before I forget. It's weird that this guy... I'm dead. I'm not. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm not. I'm lucky. Because he didn't charge me. He charged to my left. This guy not having an HP bar is pretty funny. I'm dead. He didn't attack. I thought he always finished that with an attack. Well, give me the stab. Thank you. I think this is the worst version of this enemy. Because it's in the worst location. The tiniest little arena. Am I gonna get stabbed? Good. Dragonheart. What? I don't know if the other one earlier gave a Dragonheart, but why does that guy give a Dragonheart? Is it technically a dragon? Whoop. And Bloodhound across. This is exactly the stuff I was thinking about when I said Bloodhound was good to have. Will it let me do... Will I still have invulnerability? Nope. That's just quick step. I have no reason to explore anymore here. I think I'm done down there. Let's go to the temple. So yeah, that was fun. I'm making progress through this little quest. Oops. No, this is where I wanted to be. Good. I should probably have that prepared for the actual fights, though, because it is free damage. Oh, actually, can I check AR? 18989 225174. That's like 4 damage? That can't be right. Like, the physical went up by 4, I think. If that's it, then that's kind of useless right now, because it might only boost physical damage. It's still neat. It's still free damage for a very small FP cost. Because I think I can still cast... It doesn't last very long. I think I can still cast the Art of War just fine right now, so... Also, I need to stop 5 minutes ago. So I'm just going to grab this and then anything else inside, find where I'm going to need to go, and then stop. Yeah, it was fun. I re I refreshed my knowledge on methanol toxicity. Fun. Okay, I'm gonna go down. 8. Wait. Oh. Okay. So. 73174. See if it does anything. Yeah, it doesn't change it there, which means that it doesn't update when you do that. This is 794 on right armament. This doesn't clear it. 794. I have to wait till it goes away. 794. If I two-hand it. Oh, interesting. So I do actually have to have it out. 678. 662. Actually, that's huge. That is explicitly 662. Buff with this. Wrong one. 794. That means that this should be better than this. Yeah. Also, it's not even that much better without the buff. Like, two-handing it's not that much better to begin with because it's mostly an intelligence weapon. But that is huge. Okay, let's go test this real quick. I should be done 7 minutes ago now. But I want to figure this out. I want to feel the impact. So if I buff... Oh shoot, I have to do this. Buff with this. Then switch to this. Buff with that. For a total of 872. Lock onto this guy. 1670. 1670 from a strong attack with both buffs. Now if I right hand this, I need him to respawn real quick. See how it goes with just the one buff by itself. It's also possible that the jelly buff doesn't apply. Like, if I have another attack booster, they might not both apply. So I'll buff to make sure that it doesn't run out just before I hit him. Oh, weird. I mean, that's like 200 less damage? It might be other factors, but that's pretty big. That's a big increase. I'm not going to actually use it as a shield to block, but... I mean, it's actually a pretty good shield to block too, isn't it? Like 100% physical is acceptable. So I guess for actual bosses, I should be one-handing, swinging like this. Buffing with this, and I'll hit really hard. Actually, the big thing here is I prefer horizontal swings. I've just gotten used to the vertical. Well, in this game, vertical swings are actually less bad. I can actually aim the horizontal swings at the ground. It's lovely. Yeah. This is my preferred swing style even. This works well. But this for bosses is going to be great. Except I'll have to do this. Buff there, switch, buff. And then it'll hit so hard. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be so good. Now I need to wrap up though. This was good. I made progress. I learned that basically this is going to be my setup for the rest of the game. Buffed so much. 872 with both. Just this buff, 727. Now, the AR number is not everything, but it is a lot. It does mean a lot. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so effective. I'm going to kill everything easier. And that's going to help with Millennia. Actually, if I go... I don't like shielding. But maybe if I'm actually using a shield, shielding occasionally with the... Maybe it will help for 1 or 2 attacks of Waterfowl Dance to not die. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Yeah. That's far ahead. That's not anytime soon. It's time to wrap up. And... continue next time. I want more equip load. I also want more FP. I don't need more FP though. I think equip load's better for variety in weapons. Could get to 20 dex though. Probably better do this. Oh, that's a lot more damage. 7 more damage from that. Yeah, that's huge. But let's get to at least 20 endurance, maybe 25. And then choose equipment later. But yeah, productive, happy, good mood. So, have a nice day. Bye-bye.